Well, hello, friends, readers, YouTubers. Welcome to another episode of The Writing Lair. Um, I'm happy to be able to get on here. It's been a couple weeks, I think, since I last was on here, and so I figured I'd do a quick video. I don't want to let too much time go by. So, what I wanted to do with this video is give you guys a quick update on the last video, A Haunting in Idaho, The Blood Home. So if you don't know about The Blood Home, or if you haven't watched, go back and watch the video that I did just before this one. It was a special Halloween episode where I told a story about the Blood Home, which is a haunted house in Idaho Falls, and kind of my own kind of quasi personal experience with it. I wish it was more personal, but we went out there and looked at it in the video. So, and by the way, that is my most watched video so far. So I think people out there like the scary stories. I think that was a hit. So I might have to include some more, do some more similar videos like that. Maybe tell some personal scary stories. But anyway, after that video had been out for a couple of days, I got a message from an old friend that used to work with me as a lifeguard at the little pool that I told you about. And I thought that was cool because I have not heard, his name's Mark, and I have not heard from Mark since back in those days. He was older than me, so I think I worked with him for 1 year. He went off to college. And anyway, all of a sudden I get this message from Mark, and I thought that was cool. That's so cool that's what makes the internet and social media and this stuff. I love, for all the problems that can be attributed to social media. I mean, a lot of people are really bagging on it right now, but I really, for myself personally, I was a latecomer. I didn't join up for any social media accounts for a long time. And as soon as I did, I didn't regret it because the connection that were immediately made with old friends and relatives, cousins that I hadn't seen in years. And so, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So this Mark reaches out to me, and I thought it was really cool. Now we're friends, and I was really good friends with his brother. And so I've been in touch with him too. So that was a bonus, a plus side to releasing a video about the Blood Home. Anyway, Mark reaches out to me and tells me that he used to date a girl in high school, and her dad owned this house. In fact, he's owned it for years. He just sold it a few years ago. And so I don't know if he showed her my video, but he reached out and asked her about the house. And her dad has owned this house since 1986. And she was able to give a little bit of background. I wouldn't mind being able to talk to her myself, or even her dad, and just ask a few more questions. So I just got kind of one quick short message. But what was cool is a lot of the stuff. So I was retelling a story that I heard more than 20 years ago, and I'm just retelling it from memory. And none of it is validated. None of it is verified or anything like that. So I've always just, it's just a cool story. And so to be able to get in touch with someone who has a personal connection with the house is really cool. And it's cool that a lot of the aspects of the original story have been kind of verified a little bit. So he reached out to me, and then he reached out to her and asked her about the house. And so I got to pull up my phone here so I don't screw anything up. But he sent me this message, and he copied and pasted what she told him. But I won't read it all. But so what she verified is the house was vacant until her dad bought it. She's not sure how many years, but it was a vacant home, boarded up. It had been broken into and lived in by, vagrants and that kind of thing, homeless. So that part of the story, even though in my version the house was boarded up and stuff back in the Depression, which still might be true, but when her dad bought the house in '86, that was the condition of the home, still boarded up and vacant, which says a lot because it's kind of a good size, nice house, and you'd think it'd be desirable for someone to buy. I bet he got a good deal on it. But if a house is haunted and has a bad reputation, you know. But anyway, she says that her dad bought it in '86 and did convert it into like a office space, a place that he worked out of. So she didn't actually live in the house, but her dad worked out of it. And she says that there was this red paint on the basement that started at the stairs, and the basement was made of lava rock. So houses that were built back in the the 1800s and stuff didn't have these nice poured concrete basements. They're rock foundations. Probably had a really low ceiling, I bet. But there was this red paint dripped on the wall that ran down the stairs, and you could follow it like a trail all the way around the outside of or down the wall of the basement till you got to the opposite wall. And then you could see a handprint, like someone had used their hand to smear the paint. Now, in the original story, that paint was blood. But the story she heard is that someone had used that red paint, to cover up blood stains. So that's kind of a legend that she verified that part, that there was red paint, blood, some kind of stripe, some kind of hand smear on the wall. So that part is verified, even though the details might be a little bit switched around. But I don't know about that. She says that the house was even back. It was known as the haunted house of that neighborhood, kind of back in the day, back in the 80s when her dad bought it, before he bought it. Everyone in the neighborhood and everyone in that area of town considered it haunted, and they even had a name. So there was a ghost in the house that they called Victoria. So a ghost named Victoria. And anyway, that's all I got. But she says her dad sold the house six or so years ago. And anyway, I thought you'd all be interested in that little follow-up. So maybe the day will come where we can even find out more about it. But I think it's just a cool story, cool house, and it was cool how I found out about it. So little update just on the Blood Home. And then I wanted to give you a quick update on myself, what's going on with me. So I am, so the trilogy has been published, as most of you know. The Fifth Corner trilogy is out, it's published, and it's doing pretty good. I'm not rolling in cash like Scrooge McDuck yet and diving into a bank vault full of gold coins. But I'm pretty pleased. I sell, I average a few copies a day. And people are buying it. People who... So, as a self-published kind of beginning author, it's cool. Like, the best thing is when people buy your book who don't know you. At first, your friends, your circle of friends, your family, and a few connections buy your stuff, and it's great when they do, and you appreciate it. And especially, if they go and leave reviews and they help you out, and people are helping you out, and that's awesome. But what really is cool is when people you don't know start reading your book, they buy your book, they read it, and they like it. So these are people who have no reason to go easy on you, And so for me, that's what's starting to happen. The book is starting to be bought by people out there perusing Amazon. And a lot of that's happening because I'm starting to advertise. I'm running ads, and that's a good sign. People are seeing it in the ads. They're seeing the cover. They like the cover. They're reading the reviews. And they're dropping down full price. I'm not having to coax. I'm not running sales. I'm not begging and bargaining for people to buy it. So that's a good sign. People like the cover, they like the blurb, and they like the review, and they're reading the reviews. And that big huge thanks goes out to all you people who've left reviews so far. And I can always use more, but that's big. They're coming across those reviews. They see the 5 stars sitting there next to that first book, and people are buying it. And so that's great. It's doing okay. I expect it to even do better here as time goes on and word gets out, and then it has a chance to become more popular. And hopefully I'll garner some more loyal fans and readers from this series. In the meantime, I've been re-editing and reworking The Summoning, my first novel. I have about 10 chapters, I want to say. 10 or 11 chapters left on that, and I'll be finished re-editing. And I gotta say, I'm really first of all, I'm kind of embarrassed at some of the mistakes I'm finding in there. I'm surprised that so much didn't get caught. And there have been people in my comments on Amazon, in the review section, that they still leave it a great review, but they'll put a little aside like, there was some typos and some grammar problems. And they're right. I appreciate, first of all, I appreciate the comments, and I appreciate that they still give it a good rating, because there's a lot of people out there that would just, hammer it. But they're right. I've gone through it, and I'm reformatting and re-editing it, so it's going to look nicer. It's going to have better spacing, a better looking, like the fonts, the chapters and stuff should all look a little more professional. And I have found a lot of not serious mistakes, but just stupid mistakes. Little typos and misspellings and a few little grammar issues, and I've gone through and been fixing those. And so I'm excited. I'll get it done, and then I will upload it to Amazon, to the Kindle store. Those of you who've already downloaded it and bought it will be able to re-download it for free if you want a less mistaken version of The Summoning. So that's something I've been working on kind of a lot. It's kind of been up on the front burner of my projects. I'm still writing, but I've been really spending a lot of time on The Summoning, because I still sell copies, and now I cringe. I see a copy of The Summoning get sold, and I'm like, that's the one with the errors. So hopefully the people who are reading it are just as forgiving as everyone else has been so far. And I appreciate the understanding. I'm not a rich guy. I can't afford high-end editing, and maybe someday I will. But what I am excited about is I'm catching mistakes and problems that I didn't catch before because I didn't know better, probably, on some of it. So it's good to know that I'm improved to the point where I can read something else I've written a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, but something I wrote before, and find mistakes and problems. That means I've gotten better. It means I've improved, and so I'm going to look on the bright side, and it'll be done here soon, and it'll be a much better version. Not just grammar and typos, but I'm tightening it up a little bit. Not the story itself, but just certain sentences. I'm like, shorten that. Make this long run-on sentence into 2 sentences, that kind of stuff. So just tightening up and making it better. And that's just me. I can't just let it sit there and knowingly let it sit there with mistakes in it that I know I can fix. So that's been a project. The other thing I've been doing is writing. So my next book is going to be coming out, I don't know when, but I'm about 2/3 done writing it. I'm approaching the 100,000 word mark. I anticipate it being about 150,000 words. I hope to keep it right around in there, but if the story demands more, it demands more. I'm not going to limit myself on if I feel like it's better that way. So that's what's going on right now. Marketing. I'm marketing what I've already written. I'm trying to sell, be a salesman, and I'm trying to also part of that is this YouTube channel. So that's why I actually kind of like making these videos, but I'm also hoping to be able to use this YouTube channel to broaden my horizons, attract more like-minded people that might enjoy the content of this channel, and then hopefully enjoy the content of my books. So I'd like to thank those of you who have subscribed and liked and shared these videos, and hopefully that trend will continue, and I'll add more subscribers. And let's see, that's it. What else have I been doing? Marketing and the summoning and writing my next book. And the next book is a paranormal thriller. It's a standalone. I don't think it's going to have any part series or anything to it. Just kind of a standalone paranormal horror. Kind of a horror, not as horror. I like calling it a paranormal thriller because it's not so much horror. But I'm really excited about it, and I've got some more ideas. I've got all these ideas in my head, other books I need to write. So cruising along with everything. And if you haven't read my books, go ahead, get on Amazon. You can just Amazon my name, Brady Longmore, and my books, and my Amazon page should come right up. And might be a good thing to do. You could escape these difficult times for a little while, for a few hours. And maybe my books could provide you some much needed distraction from daily life, the daily news. Anyway, I'm wishing you all the best. I'm going to wrap this up now. I'll do another video soon. And I hope everyone out there is doing well. And I know right now our country is facing some hardships and trying times. I also have faith, and I believe that we're going to come through this, and we're going to be a better country for it in the end. And I don't like to get too political, but I want you all to know I think we're all going to be okay. And America is an idea and a place that it's not going to be easy to kill. Okay. With that said, if you like this video, I appreciate if you throw down a thumbs up and give me a like. Give me a subscribe. I promise to continue to deliver interesting content, more stories and scary stories, and we'll talk about writing. And if you're following me because you're interested in writing, I plan to do a video on just writing and becoming an author and that kind of stuff. Leave comments, and if you have questions, and I always respond. And if you have any suggestions, something you want me to talk about, reach out, let me know. I'll be happy to do a little video about that. Okay, so I hope you're all well out there, and until we meet again, I wish you all happy reading.